Activate anti-booby suit. Total waste of snakes.
It's been way too long.
Rick, maybe if we go a little...
Faster? Good idea, Morty. It'll get us through these asteroids sooner.
The smartest Rick and Mortiest Morty in the universe are back.
I'm not rated to climb something this sheer.
Look, you're the guy that wanted an epic adventure. I'm the guy with only one hover chair.
And things are pretty much the same.
Oh, spinal cord, activate morphine.
All up.
Lab coat, rip off Doctor Strange.
I'm dying, Rick.
People who are really dying don't keep bringing it up.
Is that true?
I don't know. I'm just usually around people that die faster.
Rick and Morty. 5 all-new episodes start Sunday, November 10th at 11:30. Half the season you deserve. All the season we could handle.
You know what? This one counts as one of your adventures.
Only on Adult Swim. Brought to you by Wendy's.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Rick and Morty Season 4 Episode 3 video. They just dropped some new footage with a whole bunch of Easter eggs, so we'll break it down. There's a new round of that Rick and Morty merch giveaway, too. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your favorite moment from the season so far. So at the beginning of this scene, they're entering this ancient alien temple to find some sort of lost treasure or something that the temple hides, or this dungeon. But because of the way the show always tries to make fun of science fiction and fantasy tropes, Rick whips out special suits made to make them immune from all the very tropey dungeon traps the builders left behind. And because they're booby traps, of course Rick calls them anti-booby suits, which also kind of feels like a meta joke in real life about the writers making fun of a certain group of people, if you get my meaning. But part of the joke of them making fun of all these tropes from big action movies and science fiction is that the aliens that built the dungeon seem very advanced. Look at the statues that look like droids themselves. They look like the B-1 battle droids from Star Wars Attack of the Clones and Clone Wars. The joke that Rick would make about something like this is that you have this whole trope of dungeons and booby traps, is that the dungeon and the traps are super lo-fi technology for a very advanced seeming race. Like, it completely doesn't make sense. Why would a super technologically advanced race build an old-timey dungeon when they could build traps and countermeasures that are way more advanced than any of the things that look like they're straight out of an Indiana Jones movie? And in fact, all of the different traps that they walk through, all the different scenes in this clip, are from Indiana Jones movies. When they walk through the first section where all the darts come out after they step on the traps, that's from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then in the next section, they walk through this doorway, their suits deflect giant pointed stone rocks like they're nothing. Normally it would have split Rick's head in two. Also, look in the background here. Notice all the electronic panels glowing on the walls. Like, this seems like an old-timey stone building, but yet somehow it has electronics running all the way through it. The animators have been doing a fantastic job this season too. If you rewatch the episodes a couple times, you start to notice more things that they draw into the background that don't necessarily have a lot to do with what Rick and Morty are actually doing. They're just cool Easter eggs. There was someone that told me that Justin Roiland, for example, doesn't always know about all the stuff that the animators put in episodes. Like, he'll usually be around for most things, but every once in a while, one of the animators will just sneak stuff into the background just for fun. You look in the foreground, you see all these would-be other alien treasure hunters, one of them wearing a breathing apparatus. His face and the design of his character are kind of giving me a Prometheus Alien series vibe. If you didn't watch Prometheus, it's not one of the good Alien movies, but it was a prequel attempting to answer the question of where the xenomorphs came from, and in it, the crew finds this ancient alien ship buried underground that kind of looks similar to the design of this dungeon. Really old-timey and ancient, yet hyper-advanced compared to modern technology. All of you probably got this next reference. The next trap is the boulder coming out of the side door and bouncing right off of Rick, one of the most famous Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark bits. Then the final trap in the clip is the snakes, also a long-time Indiana Jones movie trope. I hate snakes. It started in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but then when they did the flashbacks during Last Crusade, they explained why he'd always been so afraid of snakes. The whole reason that they're at this dungeon probably has something to do with the heist theme of the episode. Like in the episode 3 trailer they released a couple days ago, they're doing an Ocean's 11 bit where Rick plays the George Clooney character assembling this squad of former criminals or friends for a gig. Most of them based on Ocean's 11 characters. This one, I guess you could say, is a bit of a Ghost in the Shell reference to the woman with the hands that just separate as they're typing on the keyboards. Whatever's going on with your confusing ass hands. Then they all show up in what seems like this heist convention with the bank vault behind them. They ask what the actual job is that he needed them for, and the real bit is that he actually only needed them to roll in with him for the montage, and that was it. Cue the SpongeBob meme. I'm out of here. Rick and Morty as a show, making fun of science fiction and movie, TV tropes, isn't a new thing. They do that in every single episode. It's just that in this episode in particular and all the promos that they've released, they're doing much more overt parodies of specific movies like Indiana Jones and Ocean's 11. It's kind of like the Vindicators episode, where it's very specifically making fun of Marvel and DC movies.
They're the writers of their own press releases, Morty. They're a bunch of drama queens that spend an hour talking and 20 minutes jumping around while shit blows up. They're a phase. We did one. It was the big event of that summer. Let it die.
It's not really clear why they need to go to this heist convention, but aside from his scene where Rick is pissed and uses a grappling hook to escape and steal this ship from all these aliens who themselves are also stealing stuff from this building, in the scenes of him assembling his crew earlier in the trailer, in all the other scenes, he's got that same bored look on his face, like he could care less about what they're doing at any given moment. Even in the Doctor Strange ripoff joke, Lab Coat, rip off Doctor Strange, where his coat strangles the security guard at the convention, like Doctor Strange's cloak of levitation strangles his enemies. Look at his face, he's still got that same look of absolutely not caring about what's going on in their current situation. He uses his technology to walk right through the security guard. He doesn't even slow down or bother to walk around him. These are all examples of one of my favorite long-running Rick and Morty gags, season to season. The idea that Rick has modified his body, his clothes, all the things he carries around with him, to such an extent that it almost makes him invincible. Like when he's fighting Toxic Rick in season 3, not only does he have weapons stashed all over the house and common items in places, things you would never think would hold weapons, but he's also got that special belt buckle security device. And even better, taking it up a notch, in Season 3, Episode 10, when he's inside the White House and the Secret Serviceman tries to touch him, he tells him, "You better not, you're gonna die, and there's no afterlife, everything just goes black." Of course, because this is Rick and Morty, he doesn't believe him, touches him, instantly drops dead, and everyone in the room just completely loses it, even Morty not really sure what's going on. All because, as he goes on to narrate in the speech right after that, the writers write him so that he could literally do anything at the drop of a hat to keep him completely unpredictable in any given situation. "You have no idea who I am." He even refers to himself like Doctor Who. Making the character that way makes it a lot easier to write really crazy scenes, because at this point, this many seasons into it, it makes a lot more sense that he's capable of doing anything in any given situation, which is just really good for comedy. You could also tie all of his personal security measures back to the theme of episode 2, that he's kind of afraid to let anyone get close to him, and that's part of the reason why he builds such elaborate personal security devices, even if he doesn't really need them, just to keep regular people away as much as they're there to keep enemies away. This is that clip of Dan and Justin talking about that.
The toilet episode is just an exploration of Rick's isolation, starting with something a lot of people can relate to, which is being a shy pooper.
He has a secret pooping place.
Man, you, Summer.
The thing that I love is showing how lonely Rick is, and then his rejection of friendship from someone who really is like a good person.
You're not gonna kill me?
Don't tell me what to do! What the?
It turns into a story about Rick's capacity for friendship.
I have a million cooler friends than you.
I'll be seeing you.
I think also just the shock of this person dying. It just kind of, I think it further cements Rick as this lonely person who's never gonna get close to anybody. You know, it's like, why bother?
There he is! There's our guy! Long live the big bad doo-doo daddy!
Thinking about what they said, it's easy to understand how Rick would create so much crazy technology just to push other people away. But let me know in the comments, what's your favorite scene of Rick using surprise weapons that he carries on himself, that he just whips out on a dime to get out of situations? My full episode 3 video will post Monday morning just like normal. I'm also working on a new Mandalorian video that will post next. I'll name a giveaway winner when I post that episode video. Everyone, click here for my Rick and Morty Season 3 Episode 2 video, and click here for my Mandalorian Episode 3 video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.